Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. Happy fall, it is officially fall. I am ready. Fall is my favorite season. I got my cinnamon broom, I got my fuzzy sweater, I got my pumpkin spice latte. Just kidding, this is empty. But I am excited for fall, and I think I love fall so much because it's really like the start of cozy, comforting meals, which is my favorite food to eat, recipe test, and make. I think you guys are all pretty much on the same page too. So I went to Trader Joe's again, and today I'm going to be sharing 3 cozy meals with you guys that you can still make even if you're on a budget. Each of these meals costs less than $3 per serving. They're still great to share with family or friends, or if you want to impress someone and cook something that's still like tastes a little more elevated than just straight up plain rice and beans. But they're hearty, they pack a cozy punch, and they are perfect for fall. So let's get into them. First, we're going to be making a hearty vegan chorizo chili. And for this recipe, we're going to need some soy chorizo, a few cloves of garlic, some cumin, half of a yellow onion, half a bunch of cilantro, a can of diced tomatoes, a can of chunky salsa, a red bell pepper, and 2 cans of black beans. So we're going to start out by emptying our chorizo into a pot over medium-high heat. The chorizo comes in this sort of plastic lining, which makes it kind of like scarily realistic. But you just gotta wiggle it a little and then it should come right out. And then once you have it out, I'm just using a spoon to sort of break it up a little more. And as you can kind of see here, the chorizo actually has a decent amount of oil in it. So I didn't feel the need to add any extra oil and saute my aromatics in it. I just added the chorizo to the pot along with my garlic, diced onion, red bell pepper, and then just the finely chopped stems of the cilantro because they still have just as much flavor as the leaves. Acting double duty here. So we're just going to saute this for a few minutes until the onion becomes more translucent. As you can see here, it starts to get a little bit steamy. So once the onion and bell pepper are a little more tender, then we're going to add in our cans of black beans, the diced tomatoes, and the can of salsa. And then you're going to fill the can of salsa with water again, shake it all around, and add it back to the pot. I actually poured it into my diced tomatoes as well, so the liquid from that really gets all the juices in there. But I just stirred it up first to sort of see how thick the chili was going to be, and that was obviously a little too thick for my liking. So I just added water to thin it out. Obviously, if you like something that's thicker, I would still suggest adding a little bit of water because it's going to obviously evaporate some as you're cooking it down. But you can also go based on taste preference too. You can see in the end what mine looked like with this amount of water content. So I'm just going to cover the pot, bring it to a boil, and then at that point, you're going to reduce it down to a simmer and cook it for an additional 10 to 12 minutes, just stirring occasionally. As you can see over time, the chili is starting to thicken up a little bit more, and then once it gets to the consistency that you like, you can go ahead and stop there. And also keep in mind that it's probably pretty hot while it's simmering, and it's going to thicken even more as it cools. So to serve my chili, I just plopped it into a bowl in all its hearty, juicy glory, and then I artfully topped it with some cilantro leaves, but you could also just chop them up and chuck them on top. And then I decided to serve my chili with some tortilla chips. I feel like they complemented the more Tex-Mex inspired flavors of the chili. You could also eat it as it is or serve it over rice. So now for our cost breakdown, you'll need $17.80 to get the groceries. You'll use $14.48 of those groceries, and the cost per serving, this serves 6 people, is $2.41 per person. This makes a big vat of chili, which also makes it really great for meal prep. And you also have like half of a bag of chips left. Next up, we're going to be making a tofu pumpkin curry. It's really creamy, hearty, spicy, delicious. The star of the show is Trader Joe's spicy pumpkin curry simmer sauce. You're also going to need half a head of cauliflower, some garlic, half a bunch of cilantro, some rice to cook if you want to eat it with rice, some tofu, a red bell pepper, and a pumpkin, or you can also use a sweet potato. So the first step is to cook your rice. Just read the package instructions. Now we're going to move on to our curry. You're just going to add the Trader Joe's simmer sauce into the pan. Then I like to fill the jar with water about halfway, shake it around, and then add that to the pan as well to really get all of that good sauce out there. So this simmer sauce already has all of your aromatics, some coconut milk in it, which makes it really, really easy to turn into a curry. So now I'm just mixing everything together with a spoon to sort of combine the two. And then I like to add a little bit of extra garlic, and I'm also adding some diced cilantro stems to the curry just to give it an extra pop of flavor. I find that adding fresh garlic really helps to just you know, give a little extra zinginess, and who doesn't love extra garlic? So then you're going to bring this to a simmer, and then once it starts to simmer, the flavors are combined, we're going to add our veggies. So I'm adding half of a diced pie pumpkin, along with my cauliflower, diced tofu, and my red bell pepper, but really, you can just use whatever veggies or protein you want. The simmer sauce is adding most of the flavor here. It's just what you particularly enjoy. I just thought that these elements would go well together, but if you're not a fan of tofu, you could totally use chickpeas as well. We're using chickpeas in the next recipe though, so I just wanted to add a little bit more variety in terms of my protein sources. So once everything is mixed together, you're going to cover it and bring it to a simmer over medium-low heat. And then you're just going to uncover every few minutes or so and give everything a good stir, because as you can see, obviously the vegetables aren't completely submerged in the curry, which is totally okay. There's still plenty of steam in it. So you're really just going to steam this until your veggies are cooked. The pumpkin took the longest to cook for me. It was about, I'd say between like 12, 15 minutes. But once you get this, the sauce will have thickened a little bit as well. The curry is ready to serve. Look at that ugly spoonful. Like I didn't get any peppers or pumpkin. It was all tofu. But oh well. Anyways, it's time to serve. Your rice is cooked. You're going to plop it in a bowl and then serve the curry on top. And then last but not least, just to keep things fresh. Oh, I did anally add like a red bell pepper because I thought there wasn't enough color. I'm going to top it with some more carefully placed cilantro. Then you can dig in and enjoy. So for this recipe, it serves 4 people. You need $15.92 to get all of the groceries. You're going to use $10.40 of those groceries, and the cost per serving is only $2.60, which is a pretty good bargain for me. So last but not least, we're going to be making a dump and bake rosemary sweet potato casserole. For this recipe, we're going to need 2 cans of garbanzo beans or chickpeas, some smoked paprika, some brown rice, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, 1 large or 2 medium sweet potatoes, some fresh thyme and fresh rosemary, though you can just use dried herbs as well. We're also going to be using half of an onion and some vegetable broth. So to start out, we're going to add our vegetable broth to a pan, and then we're also going to add in our herbs, the paprika, and some salt and pepper to taste. You just add that in with the veggie broth, whisk everything together until it's nice and combined, and then we're going to bring this to a boil on the stovetop while we add everything else to our casserole dish. So I actually use 1 large sweet potato for this recipe. You're just gonna peel it and dice it up. And then in our casserole dish, first we're gonna sprinkle our cooked chickpeas on the bottom, followed by our diced sweet potato. Then we're going to add in our onion and garlic, and we're going to give everything a good stir just to make sure it's all evenly incorporated. Then once it's pretty level within the casserole dish itself, we're going to take our brown rice, we're going to use a cup of it, and sprinkle it on top pretty evenly. The rice is obviously going to be the hardest thing to cook in this casserole, so we want to make sure it's as evenly distributed as possible. So then once that liquid mixture comes to a boil, we're going to just pour it over the casserole. This is so easy. You're literally just dumping everything into the dish, and it's going to be perfectly cooked when it's done. I love these casseroles. I have a ton of them on my blog too, so if you want to check that out, get more inspo for flavor ideas. Once it's all mixed together, just make sure the rice is submerged. Then you can cover it with parchment paper followed by aluminum foil, or just aluminum foil, and you're going to pop it in the oven for an hour at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So after an hour, you might want to let it sit for a few minutes just to cool slightly, but you can open up your casserole dish and look how perfectly cooked it is. You got your tender sweet potato, your spice-infused chickpeas, your rice. So you can definitely enjoy this as is. I topped it with some tahini sauce. That's totally optional and not included in this recipe countdown. Quality cost assessment, yes. We're going to use $11.72 for the groceries. You only need $4.80 of those groceries, and the cost per serving is only $1.60. This recipe serves 3 people. All right, guys, and there you have it. Leave a comment down below and let me know which one of these recipes was your favorite. I feel like this actually might not be a good idea because this broom is very strong. My whole house smells like cinnamon. But anyways, I hope you liked the video. Let me know if you want me to film more videos like this. I've done more like Italian inspired, and this time I did cozy themed, but obviously there are a million other genres of things I could do with stuff from Trader Joe's. So let me know. I'd be happy to film it. I really love shopping at Trader Joe's. It's like a special occasion for me because I actually don't live very close to it. But anyways, I'm on a tangent. If you want all these recipes, they're all going to be linked below to the blog post. There's also going to be a Pinterest image where you can save them all for later. So even if you don't want to make them now and you think you're going to want to make them later, who is calling me? Scam likely. I don't need that. trying to celebrate fall. If you want to save them for later, you can click the Pinterest page. So that's all for me for now. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to let me know that you really like this video and you want to see more just like this. I post 1 to 2 new videos every week. And yeah, continue to stay awesome. Enjoy fall, unless you live in the southern hemisphere, and I guess it's now spring. But yeah, it's fall here, so that's what I'm gonna celebrate. Okay, it's weird now. Bye.